Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Hi, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Duprey. So excited to be here today. I've got two very special guests from Washington State, Seattle area. I have Billie. Billie's the owner of her Billie's Busy Kids school there in Seattle area. And Kelsey is her number one, right? Our number one director. Is it regional manager? What's your title, Kelsey?
I don't have an official real title. I'm the doer of all the things, but I currently direct one of our centers.
Awesome. So you're the master of trade.
Yes, yes.
I would classify her as an unofficial regional director. But yes, she's my everything. Yeah.
Right.
I'm blessed to be able to do this work alongside my daughter. So it's pretty fun.
Oh, that's even more fantastic. So that's great. Been one of your directors for quite a while. And how long have you been a director, Kelsey?
Yeah, so this is my 5th year being a director at one of our programs. Before that, I was a lead teacher. I helped open classrooms, and it's been pretty fun, an interesting change.
And you've been how long at the same company?
16 years.
Wow, 16 years. And the reason I had Kelsey come on, usually I interview directors, but Kelsey was just nominated and got accepted as the Director of the Year for the Childcare Genius University. Over hundreds of other directors, you got the nod as being number one. And I said, no, I've got to have you on the podcast. And I said, well, I usually want to bring the owner on with you as well, so she could brag on you. Billie, tell me why Kelsey's so amazing.
Well, again, I think it just shows what hard work can do and, persevering and working really hard towards working in our business. Kelsey's shows up. She's present. Of course, she's my daughter too, right? So I have all these other beautiful things to say, but I'm so proud of her. And to be able to do the work every day alongside her is pretty incredible. And to watch her grow is not just a mom, but in her profession as well. And it was, I don't want to say it was a shock that she was given the award, but it was, I was just so delighted and so proud at that same time that not only did one of my directors get it, but also my daughter.
That's even better. Yeah, and this is what I like about this is I've had so many people, I've probably had more people tell me, I wish my daughter would want to get involved in the school. They don't want nothing to do with it. I hear that a lot more than I hear, hey, I've got a superstar, rock star child who wants to be in the industry and follow in my footsteps. I don't hear that very often. I'm lucky and blessed that 4 of my kids work for us in our programs, 4 out of the 5. So it has worked out well for me. But how did you instill that in her growing up, Billie, that hey, maybe, and Kelsey, I'm going to come to you next you're probably going to say, I never wanted to be in this industry at first. I know that's what you're going to say that. But Billie, how did you talk her into it? You've done a great job. How did you get her to that point?
No, that's a great question. And I think you're absolutely right. The first thing she said was, I do not want to work for you. She started out working for me after school. I needed some extra help because in our in-home daycare where we started out, we needed some extra support. And naturally, she's she was like a natural caregiver. She was nannying for some kids down the road. And I was like, hey, what do you think about helping out after school? And so she was doing that. She was also doing Running Start. So another thing about Kelsey is she's very driven and she's very intelligent. And so she was going to school, going to high school, going to college, and also working for me. And then she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go and see the world and do other things. So she was a barista for quite some time. And I just knew I could get her back. I just knew that her heart belonged to working with children and families. And so I was very patient, and she did come back. And it's just been exciting to see her grow and train other staff and help grow and shape our program. So I'm very, very blessed.
Before I go into more detail, Kelsey, I gotta know, do you make the coffee?
Oh, you cut out there, Brian.
Said, did you make the coffee at your school? I gotta know.
Yes, I make all the
No,
coffee.
now, I wish I would have known that, Kelsey, when I visited your schools last year. I would have had you make me coffee.
There you go, right?
Washington
You're a
coffee. Can't get
professional.
any better.
All right. Now, that was your mom's story. Now tell me the truth. What happened?
Okay, so we started as a home daycare, and I was all of 17 years old. As soon as I turned 18, graduated high school, I said, okay, this is a lot of kids all the time. I moved out, and I was a barista it was actually a really short period of time.
Yes, it was.
It's funny to hear that it felt like forever without me. I love that.
I did.
I think it was maybe 8 or 9 months. I went and I managed two different coffee stands. And one day I just woke up at 5:30 in the morning, opened my stand and said, I actually don't like this. This isn't fun. It's not hard enough. It's not making my brain work, and I want to go back. It was really great timing because we had recently grown from our home center into our very first official center, and they needed a teacher. So I slid right back over to what my heart loves, and I ran our pre-K program.
Wow. That's an awesome story. And tell me there hasn't been a little rocky along the way. It's hard working with me.
Oh,
So give us the scoop,
100%.
Kelsey. What's the hardest thing working for
There's
mom?
When I was younger, especially before I had my own children, it was really hard, blurred lines between, working and being family. It can be a really difficult thing to navigate, but we've come such a long way and we're very good at it now. But there definitely was some peaks and valleys, a learning curve. And what really changed for me was becoming a mom myself, just kind of seeing all of this love that my mom poured into her business for me too, and being able to continue that for my girls. My girls are 9 and they're 5 now, and they've always been at our centers. It's been a big driving force for me to, stay and create a beautiful environment for them to grow up into.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I have noticed, even with my own children, that when they had their own kids, it changed their perspective quite a bit on the schools and wanting to stay in there and also making a difference on the lives of other children as well, not just your own.
Mhm.
So listen, if you're listening this and one of your teachers left you to go make coffee at Starbucks, call them and try to get them back. Have them
Yes,
listen to this
yeah.
episode, right? There is hope out there. And all of you who think your children want nothing to do with your center, once they have kids, that's the time to try to get them back. All right. So Billy, talk to me about Billy's busy kids. What do you like? How many locations do you have? What do you specialize in? What's your niche?
Yeah, so we have three locations. We have two in the little city that we live in, one at one end of town and literally one at the other end of town. We're licensed for 61, no, 59 at one.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one, we're licensed for 40. And then we also have one in Marysville, which is about 15, 20 minutes away from our other location, which was perfect. And that one is licensed for 61. We have about 23 employees, 20, 4 employees, including myself now. Um, I would say our specialty is working with children with special needs, working alongside and getting children into early intervention services and partnering with school districts and intervention specialists just to make sure families can get to work and have a safe place for their kiddos to be.
Exactly. I've been to all your schools as all my top clients. I have visited their schools, and you run do an amazing job. Got to meet you, Kelsey, out there. So, Kelsey, what's your secret sauce? Like what, dealing with parents, dealing with staff, like what do you think you do the best at?
Individualization. I know all of my team members. I know all of my kids. There's not a single child in my center who doesn't know my name. I know all of my parents and just kind of, knowing what is important to everybody, what they need to be successful so that I can do my job successfully. That's one of my biggest values when I come into work every day.
So you have good people skills, obviously. How did you get those? From your mom or from book, from college?
Maybe a little bit of everything. I have had some pretty great mentors. I've had, of course, my mom, and then my co-director, Corin. Everybody kind of together.
Yeah.
We've learned so much as a team, and watching these women, starting at 17, value these things just kind of taught me that that's the way that you do it. I've never known anything different.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think it's a part of our culture too, just to be, right? It's not like we're
Yeah.
just absent and we sit in an office, including myself. It's we know families' names, we know the children's names, we know what they like to do after school. We know what they like to do as a family. We're vested. So it's important.
And that helps with retention. Parents don't leave you if they feel connected to you.
Exactly.
Do
Absolutely.
the same with your staff too. That helps with turnover as well, like having personal connection. Having a director, I'm talking to the audience now, having a director with good people skills is so important. Um, and it's not easy in today's society. The younger generation isn't connected socially like the over 40s are. So you really need somebody that's not socially awkward, that actually can have conversations and not have to tell everything. And it's harder and harder to find somebody under 29 that can socially do that. So on your interview, that's where you find that out. You have to interview these people and do that. So I'm glad to see that for such a young person there, Kelsey. All right, so I'm going to pick on you both now. So I've been coaching you now probably for almost 2 years, I think. Been a while since I've started coaching.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. A
I'm
year now. Yeah.
yeah. So, I work with you, Billy. What do you get out of coaching the most?
The number one thing I think is learning what I didn't know, to become more, to become a better business owner. Support for when, like, I was struggling and I was really having a difficult time with my company. I could pick up the phone and call somebody. I could reach out during our coaching sessions one-on-one or in our group. Just not feeling. I think the term you use is on the island, and I think we've kind of used that as well. Um, I think another piece of coaching that has been really important is this last conference was big, which was a huge takeaway, was learning to stay in my own lane, learning to trust the people that I have in place. And systems is another one. Just really refining and creating systems has been really important. So there's been lots and lots and lots of work the last year, and I'm excited to kind of get everything pulled together this year and grow from that in coaching.
Awesome. Yeah, I've talked you off a ledge or two in the last year.
Oh, yes.
As most childcare owners are out on the ledge sometimes, but it's the worst when you're out on that ledge and you're out by yourself. So
Yeah.
thank you for reaching out when you're struggling, and we all go through it. Every single one of us has those struggles, and being not being alone is so key. Not being on that island. So Kelsey, you're part of our executive mentorship program, meaning that. And not only do our owners get coached, but our directors get coached as well. Talk about what Christine has done with you in the executive mentorship program. How does that help you grow?
Yeah, I love Christine. She has been my saving grace over the last year and a half. Um, like Billy said, there's so much that I didn't even know that I didn't know. And being a part of this program has connected me with other people who have way better ideas than I have. I can snag them, I can tweak them and make them fit my program, make my life easier, my teacher's life easier, which then makes my kids' life better in my program. It's been really amazing. I think the biggest takeaway for me has been how to keep these relationships and still insert boundaries. That was really hard for me
Yeah.
before starting with Childcare Genius. Um, Helping and being there for my team does not mean having no accountability. So that's been a big takeaway for me.
Awesome. I love that. So you show up, you do your coaching calls, you get help. And if you're listening to this and you have a director that, struggling or you wanted to get more people skills, do more tours, check out Childcare Genius University. We don't only coach owners, we coach directors as well. And we could help your director become director of the year material, change, help you with enrollment, grow, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So what do you say at your school? I'm going to ask each one of you, what do you think you do better than anybody else? Not to say anything bad about the competition, but what are you the best at?
Retaining, I think retaining our families and retaining staff, um, I think is a big one for us.
What about
Yep, and I'm going to do the back end of that. It's again just knowing everybody as a person and supporting them as a person, which kind of leads to that retention.
yeah, and it's so important because we spend so much money getting a kid in the door. And all the time, all it takes is one teacher saying something stupid and the family's gone. It's just so
Yeah.
fragile sometimes. So having that ecosystem where your teachers and you are connected and everybody is loving and caring and they won't, even if something bad were to happen, they wouldn't leave you and that people don't, you can't leave your family, right? So if you create that family atmosphere, they're not going to leave you when an incident happens. And that is so key. And having a director that is not socially awkward, that's socially connected, that, Kelsey, you're younger. You're the age of the parents coming in the door. You is one, right? As they say. So,
Mhm.
having a 70-year-old director is not going to relate to somebody coming in with a new person. And I'm not criticizing the 70-year-old director out there, but the more the director can relate with the families, the better, because you'll understand what they're going through it as a mom yourself. And that's why my daughter runs our school. We don't run our school. She's in her 30s. She has four children. She understands what the parents go through better than we do. It's a whole different set of parents coming in today that there were 20 years ago, and they have different needs and they're very high maintenance than they were 20 years ago. It's a lot easier to be a childcare owner 20 years ago than it is today. But having a director that understands that is key. And I'm glad, Billy, you found one. What even better is to work with a family member. And, when Billy's gone someday, Kelsey, that's going to happen. You're never going to, it's so neat to have that time. Time is so important with family. And
Absolutely.
that is just something that a lot of people don't get to experience. We get to experience it with our kids, and they're going to say someday when we're gone, like, wow, that I had so much time with my mom that most people don't have. So you enjoy every minute of it and get over your little quarrels early, quickly.
I think that's the other thing. We learn to fight fair, right? We've
Yep.
learned to figure it out. We've learned to have strong discussions. And both of us at the end of it are like, well, we're not going to agree on this and we're just going to come back to it later. I
Yep,
think it's worked out
totally.
pretty good.
Oh, you haven't learned the mom is always right thing yet, Kelsey?
I know. And certain things.
Certain things, right? Mother knows best, right? They should have a TV show called Mother's Knows Best. I think most watched it, right? But anyway, I'll leave it there. I just wanted the audience to see a little bit about how the dynamic of mother-daughter works, how the owner-director dynamic works, and how somebody who has taken coaching and really excelled, not only on the owner side, but on the director side as well. So this was a multi-purpose podcast. We just saw you guys in Las Vegas at our conference. Let me ask you, Billy. So, or no, I'll ask you, Kelsey, because was this your first conference you've been to?
No, this was my second
This is
conference.
your second. Okay. So you have been to two Childcare Genius live conferences in Las Vegas, and that's the only conference we allow directors to have. Tell me what you got out of that as a director and not an owner.
Yeah, my very first conference, I went away with so much information in my brain and no path, right? It was so much. It was so cool to sort of hop in and hear all of these different ways of managing people, managing centers, managing relationships. And it was like opening a whole new world for me. From the very first conference, I think the thing that stuck with me the most, and it might have been faith, I can't remember. Someone said something about do not be a knowledge silo. If you are a knowledge silo, the second you're not there, everything falls apart. And that really stuck with me. And for the whole year, I trained so many people in my team to know everything that lives up here. Everything that I do in my brain exists somewhere else. So if something terrible happened to me, everyone can continue on without me. I kind of opened my eyes that doing everything actually does a big disservice to everybody. Got to
Yeah,
spread the wealth.
for sure.
The second conference, I walked away with a little bit more of a path, just because I knew what to expect. I think I focused on the pieces of information that felt like were speaking directly to me. And I've run with them. I really have enjoyed both conferences, especially the camaraderie between directors. Everybody who's making the trek out really, really wants to be wonderful at what they do. They have great ideas. And it's been really nice to have a community that I've never had before.
Sure. We have a great director coach with Christine and Robin, and they do a wonderful job. And all of our coaches coach inside there as well. So love to hear that. We have two conferences a year, one for owners only. That's the fall one in the Caribbean, and our live one in Las Vegas in April every year. You could bring your directors, and you could see here right why the importance of having your team there. And I'm sure it was quite bonding having you guys hanging out together, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, last year was our first time coming, and it was just the both of us. And then this year we were going to bring a couple other directors, but life happened and we couldn't do it. They couldn't come join us. But it was nice again just to get a little break and sit by the pool and chat afterwards and just have a really good time and learn a lot, have deep conversations uninterrupted too. It was really nice.
Yeah,
Oh, the Nugget pretty pool is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
it is.
For sure. Well, we look forward to seeing you soon, Billy, in the Dominican Republic at our fall conference. Sorry, Kelsey, we won't see you there, but we'll see you in the Vegas in the fall, or in the spring, rather. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy life to join us on the Child Care Genius podcast. Carol's sick today, so she apologizes for not being able to be on. But Carol and I will be back next week with another episode, and we will see you soon. Billy, thanks again for taking the time today.
Of course. Have a
Thanks,
great day.
Grandma.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was great. I am so excited to know that you're going to be able to hear this episode and learn from Billy. Being in business with my daughters and my son as well in the childcare business, it's exciting to see somebody else doing it as well, doing it successfully. But like Billy said, it wasn't always that way. She'd never thought that her daughter would join her until she had to be on her own for a little bit and then decided, making coffee is just not for me, or running a coffee shop. So, she let her have her wings, and then she brought her back. So, great episode. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you so much for tuning into the Child Care Genius podcast. If you like our episode, or if you don't like it, hit a like button, go ahead and subscribe. Carol will be back next week, and we'll have another episode for you, the Child Care Genius podcast. Hope you have an amazing day. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.